Okay, the recording started and I'm just letting everyone in.
Thank you.
Okay, ready when you are, Chair.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Northern Beaches Local Planning Panel meeting of Wednesday, the 5th of November, 2025. Just before I start, I normally provide a bit of a briefing on the role of the panel. However, I do note that we don't have any objectors seeking to speak today, and virtually all of the applicants' representatives are town planners or the like. So is there a need, if I can ask the non-panel members, for me to provide that outline of the functions of the panel, or would you be happy for me to proceed directly into the proceedings?
Happy for you to proceed, Chair.
Same here,
Okay.
Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. So once again, welcome to the panel meeting. Firstly, acknowledgement of country. As a sign of respect, the Northern Beaches Local Planning Panel acknowledges the traditional custodians of these lands upon which we gather and pays respect to elders past, present and emerging. I haven't received any apologies for the meeting. Is that correct, Lauren?
That's correct.
And declarations of interest. All panel members have lodged declarations of potential conflict of interest with the Secretariat, and I'll just check as for completeness with each of the panel members just to see whether or not they have a real or perceived conflict of interest in relation to any of the items. Firstly, Deb Laidlaw, who's an independent member of the panel.
Conflict of interest.
Thank you. Secondly, Ian Arnott, also an independent expert member.
No conflicts for me. No.
Okay, and our community member, Sue Denham, any conflicts of interest?
No conflicts of interest for me.
Thank you very much. And I'm David Crofts and I'm the chair of the panel, and I don't have any real or perceived conflicts of interest. The panel has noted the minutes of the Northern Beaches Local Planning Panel held on the 15th of October were adopted by the chairperson and have been posted on council's website. They're also, yes, they are on the website, so I don't need to go any further. We have a number of items today, public items. The bulk of those relate to proposed advertising structures on existing bus stops, and one item relating to construction of a deck associated with a dwelling at Coleroy. So moving on to the first couple of items, items 4.1 through to items 4.7 of the agenda today all relate to bus stops and the installation of advertising structures on existing bus stop shelters. What I propose to do is I note that the applicant's representatives are exactly the same people for each of those items. So what I might do is ask those applicants' representatives whether or not they want to make a presentation on one or all of those items, and then I'll open to panel members whether we have any questions of them. So David Waghorn, I've got you at the top of my list as the representatives of the applicant. So I'll ask you if you wouldn't mind to coordinate the team there to see whether or not whether you wish to make a presentation or whether you've got any questions or comments you wish to make at the moment.
No problem, Mr. Chair. David Waghorn, Planning Ingenuity, along with Talia Arena from Planning Ingenuity as well. We'd just like to make a very brief presentation. We're very happy with the recommendation and staff report for the majority of it. We've got no objection to the conditions. But I just wanted to know, did you receive our late correspondence from Norton Rose Formula?
Yes, we have. And we've also received, and this will post on council's website, a response from the consultant planner that council engaged to do the assessment in response to that and a number of other points.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just in relation to that, all we'd ask for is that item 4.2 relating to the e-signs. We would respectfully request that that matter be deferred. We note the assessment report issues about the lease agreement, and that issue may come up in future DAs. So we'd like the opportunity for Norton Rose Fulbright to have a look into those matters and provide additional justification in terms of his existing use rights and an appropriate pathway forward for determination. And therefore, we would respectfully request that item 4.2 be deferred. In relation to item 4.6, there was only one sign there, sign I1, that council's consultant did not recommend approval for. Again, we respectfully request that that sign be approved. There is clear evidence that there was a DA and CC. It is on council's DA tracker. And the only reason given for not establishing existing use rights was the lack of stamped plans. Again, we have undertaken, I think, 16 GIPA requests, and we have done everything we possibly can to try and track down those plans. They seem to just not exist. But as stated in the Norton Rose Fulbright legal advice, there is a presumption of regularity here. There is a presumption that CC was issued in accordance with the plans, and those plans seem to correlate with what's been built on site, which is consistent with most of the other signage applications here. So in that regard, we would respectfully request that modification to condition 1 in item 4.6 to allow sign I1, and then delete condition 2, which is the non-approval for condition I1.
Okay, thank you. I note that, and we'll consider that when we move into the determination phase of the meeting. Is there any, can I also comment in relation to the deferred item? You mentioned you're getting advice on that. Do you know how long it will be before you can provide that advice back to council and therefore the panel?
We are hopeful to have the advice by the end of this week, and then maybe providing the panel and council that advice early the week after. It would be, I think it's going to be a fairly detailed advice, so it'd be unfair on the panel and council to just furnish that with you today, and we don't want to undercook it.
So if the panel was of a mind to defer it for, say, consideration for, say, 14 days, you believe you can deal with it within that time frame?
We will definitely have the advice to you, whether council's in-house legal want to review it or not, and that time frame is appropriate. I'll leave that as a matter for council.
Okay. No, thank you very much. Panel members, can I ask whether you've got any questions? And if you do, can you just please comment as to which item number your question relates to and the DA number, just for the fullness of the public record. So I'll open now to panel members whether you've got any questions.
Not for me.
No
questions.
Stay over silence. I don't have any questions either. So unless there's anything else you'd like to add, that's essentially the end of those items, and we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. So nothing else that the applicant wishes to add at this stage?
Nothing else from us, Mr. Chair, just thanking council staff and their consultants for a diligent report, and we agree with it. There's a couple more DAs to come, probably another 9 or so. So he's just giving you fair warning, but yeah, we're just looking to regularise all those signs over there and sort them out for Umedia, our client.
Okay, thank you very much. And just before I close off those items, just for those people who may be listening on live stream or the recording, I'll just quickly go through the DAs that those items deal with before we close off on those items. So item 4.1 relates to DA 2025/0946, and that's bus stops in Warriewood and Mona Vale and the installation of advertising structures on those existing bus stops. 4.2 refers to DA 2025/0951, which is bus stops at Collaroy, the installation of advertising structures in the existing bus stop shelters there. Item 4.3 is DA 2025/0954, which is bus stops at Forestville. Again, the installation of advertising structures in the existing bus stop shelters. 4.4, which is DA 2025/0955, relates to bus stops at Belrose. Again, the installation of advertising structures in the existing bus stop shelters. Item 4.5 refers to item DA 25/0956, which is bus stops at Beacon Hill and French's Forest bus stops, installation of advertising structures in existing bus stop shelters there. And 4.6 refers to DA 2025/0957, bus stops at Manly Vale and North Manly. Again, the installation of advertising structures in the existing bus stop shelters. And 4.7 refers to DA 2025/0959, which is bus stops at DY and Brookvale, the installation of advertising structures in existing bus stop shelters there. Just for those who haven't seen those DAs, essentially each of those DAs relates to existing fixed advertising on those bus shelters, which is being proposed to be changed to electronic illuminated bus stops signage, essentially occupying roughly the same area in each shelter. And in some cases, those that advertising signage is dynamic. That is, it changes. In other cases, it's static, but in all cases, it's digitally driven and illuminated internally. So that's a quick snapshot of those items. And once again, thank you for the applicants' representatives for coming to the meeting. And I note there are no objectors who have asked to speak for those items. So I would now like, thank you. I'd now like to move on to item 4.8, which is at 2/60 Alexander Street, Collaroy. It's the construction of a deck and associated works. It relates to DA 2025/1025. I have no objectors wishing to speak, and I do have the representative of the applicant here, who's Vaughan Milligan. Good afternoon, Vaughan.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and panel members.
Do you have anything you wish to present to the panel, or would you just prefer to deal with any questions the panel members have?
Certainly happy to answer your questions, panel members. Essentially, where this application is looking to resolve some significant storm damage. You're probably aware Northern Beaches, like a lot of Sydney, was hit very hard with storms in early 2022. There was an approved levelled rear terrace area which collapsed in the midst of those storms, and that damage is still evident today. The proposal is to reinstate the rear yard in a much better designed, lightweight and more durable solution, but also to clean up the storm damage, partly remove an encroachment onto a neighbouring property to the east, and we have the consent of that neighbour, and install a balustrade around an existing encroachment over the southern boundary, which again we have the consent of the adjoining neighbour. We would hope the panel understand the extent of the work, and it's intended to really replace what was there. We note the officers asked for some increased soft landscaping to the perimeter areas of the deck, and I don't think our clients have any concern at all with that. They're looking to maximise their yard areas and amenity. So be happy to answer any questions the panel members may have.
Thank you very much, Vaughan. Panel members, do you have any questions at all you wish to ask the applicant's representative?
Nothing from me.
Just remind me again that the
Certainly.
surface that's been disturbed underneath the deck, that's going to be covered in what? Geofabric, is it?
Geofabric, it's going to be slightly lowered, so it's a self-supporting bank. The stormwater solution is the water from the deck will spill off at a low grade, and there is an anti-scour treatment again within the rear property, and that is that's put forward with the consent of the adjoining neighbour. So the underside of the deck will be lowered, and then a geotextile fabric to present further fretting of that bank.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No other questions from other panel members? No. I had one relating to any excavation on site and movement of soil. I noticed the waste management plan only refers to half a cubic metre of soil being removed from the site or waste. I just wanted to clarify that is the case, that any other items essentially it will just be moved around and regrading occurred within the existing site.
That's my understanding, Mr. Chair, that we're not intending to remove any material off the site. It'd be very difficult to do so. It's hard enough just removing the damaged brickwork, so that'll be removed. But otherwise, regrading within the existing site and not a lot being taken away.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'd now like to close off on item 4.8. The only other item for the panel today is a non-public meeting item, which is item 5.1, which is DA 2025/0603, 31 Sturdy Lane, Alvena Bay, construction of an inclinator and associated works. The applicant is not wishing to present, and the neither are there any objectors. Because there's no objectors and because of the nature of the item, it's will be dealt with as a non-public meeting item. Just before I close the public meeting, can I mention that the panel will move into a determination meeting shortly after this meeting is closed. We'll then determine these items that we've considered today. Following that, the determination will be available in a few days' time. It'll be published on Council's website once Council has undergone whatever due process it needs to go through at that stage. Can I thank the panel members and also those who appeared for the panel today, and also those who may be listening to the recording for their attendance. I'll now close the public meeting. Once everyone is logged off who's a non-panel member, I'll just, if I could ask the panel members just to stay online for a few seconds, please.